Well, hey guys, welcome to the 5F's Real Talk with the ladies. Tonight it is just me. Why? Because it's Easter weekend and the ladies have the weekend off. So listen, our conversation tonight it's about whether or not you're really confident or ready to, I don't know, expose yourself to someone else. You know, real talk with ourselves, because I often have real talk with myself about whether or not when I look in the mirror, whether I'm good with what I see or do I think I need to make some modifications, but not based on what I see social media or Hollywood portraying to me in movies, but just based on what I feel comfortable with. So when you think about what it is that you're confident about, is it you really making that decision? Are you influenced by what other people think or feel about you? So, our show tonight is all about that. And we're going to go at length about a couple things as it relates to what we see image wise in Hollywood and social media versus what Hollywood and social media posts that we may not be open to. So, this is all about you because when you stand in front of the mirror, everyone ranks themselves. Everyone makes a decision on whether or not this is really what they want to see. So let's get started. So tonight, we're going to go through a couple different things. And again, I hope everyone who views tonight, I would love to hear from you. Again, this is Real Talk with the Ladies, and I am the lady here tonight. And I'm the host, Christine Burkett. So we're going to look at a couple different things, and we're going to have a conversation along the way. And I'll be happy to share your comments when you leave them in the comment section. So let's get started. I like this song as well. It's pretty hot. So the question is, are you ready to expose the real you? The naked truth. I mean, does your confidence match your body? And so a lot of times people have this perspective of what sexy is or what we call alluring in any way or image that you would want to duplicate. And that's to me, I think that's created from conceptually what you see in movies, what you see in magazines, and a lot of different things that may perhaps allow you to make those judgments about yourself and about others. So, what we're going to take a look at is that are you ready to expose yourself to the real you? And whether or not that real you, are you ready to expose that person to someone new? So, the question I want us to look at is what do you think about yourself? If you had to rate yourself right now from 1 to 10, what would it be? Okay, I'll share my number before anybody else does. My number is like a 7. I think I'm kind of hot. I'm 50, right? I think I'm kind of hot. I think the pandemic has impacted my hotness, but not enough that I'm ready to go get anything sucked out or lifted up or anything like that. I think just hard work, watching what I eat, the thing that got me into it is the thing that's going to get me out of it, which means if during a pandemic I ate a few extra meals or really didn't put much effort into working out, because everyone went through that level of not really feeling themselves during the pandemic. It was being shut in. And I get that part. But the first question you need to ask is, what do you think? What do you think about yourself before what anyone else does? And then you want to kind of take note of that. Take note of what you think you want to work on before anyone else. So the only thing I can tell you is growing up, I used to get teased so much about my lips. People used to tell me, oh, you got big lips. You got those big Jubo lips. Now, oh my God, people pay good money for these lips. I get comments. I've gotten free drinks over these lips. They're like, you got some sexy lips. So the thing is that now as an adult, something that if I had really listened to people, I would have thought that I was just grotesque. And as soon as I got enough money in my 20s, when I got my first job, what would I have done? Got my lips reduced. But I didn't. I just said, you know what? These are my lips and I just got to work with them, right? So that's the thing. You really got to look at what do you think about yourself before you start taking into consideration what anyone else thinks, social media or Hollywood. All right. So I want us to take note of one very important thing. Is your body image impacted by Hollywood and social media? So let's just do real talk. Were you thinking about that intimate moment with your guy, with your woman, whomever? And men have image issues too, by the way. Let's not think everything is on a woman because it's not. I know a lot of men who get implants in their chest just because they want to have a nice chest. They don't want to put the effort into working out, just like women get implants to have larger breasts because they think in some way it's enhancing or it's enticing to the opposite sex. So I'm going to say this to you. I used to be a 38 double D, and they were magnificent. But due to medical reasons, I had to let them go. Now I'm not a 38 double D, but guess what? I still think I'm pretty hot though. So you got to really take a look at whether or not your body image is impacted by what you see in Hollywood or social media. I mean, everything they put out says that you have to be a size 5, 6. You can't be a 12, a 13, a 14, a 20, a 24. God forbid you're that way. How many women do you see on television, or even men for that point, who lose weight? Let's talk about Al Roker. Al Roker was hot as a chunky man. He went through a lot to slim down. I don't know if he's just as hot. I'm just saying he was good the way he was, but he slimmed down, he's healthier. I get that part. So if it's related to health, I get it. But if you're just making modifications because you think in some way it's going to make you more beautiful, more of what Hollywood or social media puts out, those are the things that I think you should think about. I would probably never fit the Hollywood mode of what they think beauty is, because I'm a natural Black woman with no modifications. And I wake up every day as a natural Black woman. So no, I don't fit into a size uh 5, 6, 7, or 8, but I can do like a 10, 12, 14. It depends on the size of my behind. And women, you know what I'm talking about. So I got to do some work on that. So that's the question to ask yourself. Is your body image impacted by Hollywood? So let's take a look at this. Real talk. And I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see this for yourself. So the biggest thing going on right now has been about Lizzo. Lizzo posted a picture and received very controversial comments about her with this on. But then you got to ask yourself, seriously, what is the big deal about Lizzo putting that on? They even compared her to Beyonce. This is the question you have to ask yourself. One, she's getting on her own jet. Who cares? It's her jet, everybody. And by the way, she's probably getting paid to wear those pants. That's not Lizzo's first time wearing backless pants on her bottom. I just want to say that. She's been to several basketball games and events with different clothing on. And the thing is, you have to ask yourself, is that confidence? Is that her understanding how beautiful she is, regardless of what's out there, social media, everything everybody prints? Now, mind you, I wouldn't wear those pants in public, but if I was getting on a jet and my man was on a jet and maybe we were kind of planning some little hot moment, then okay. And the other thing is, just an FYI, from the day Lizzo started to today, if you ever seen her in concert, she's a rock star, okay? 100% rock star. She's lost so much weight. So to her, that's sexy. And that's something that needs to be applauded. I think a lot of times we overlook the role that confidence can play in who we are and what we do. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. He said her confidence is off the chain. And I agree. To wear some right now, and by the way, I'm smaller than Lizzo. I don't know if I have the confidence to wear backless pants right now. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's some pretty sexy stuff, though. I'm kind of feeling her. And by the way, for her size, if we're going to critique, and again, I'm going to go to full screen, she doesn't have a lot of dimplage. And ladies, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's some brothers right now who are losing their minds over this picture. They think she's hot like fire. And again, I think she's sexy and I think she's hot. And I think to have that level of confidence to do what she does takes a lot. So I think before we start snapping back on people's confidence when they share it with us publicly, first, let's look at the fact that she is getting on her own jet. You're going to keep it real. All right. And that's not the first time she's wore backless pants. So let's take a look at all of that. So here's Lizzo. And again, I said this is not her first time. And again, I'll go to full frame so you can take a look at this. But Lizzo has been seen publicly wearing a lot of controversial outfits. Here you see she's out at a basketball game. This is public. This is her in one of her videos. This is her at one of her concerts. So when I say to you, Lizzo is Lizzo. She has rock star confidence. And if I had her confidence, I would probably walk around butt naked and not be scoring myself as a 7. So when you think about the level of confidence you need to have to be intimate with your mate. And so now we're going to do real talk. A lot of times the level of intimacy that we provide to another person is based on our personal image or thought about ourselves. So You really need to take a look at that. So, Michael, again, thank you for joining us. He said, as a professional photographer, all she needed was a better photographer. I agree. As she's, getting onto the plane, that's one thing they could have done a little, the angle. The angle would have been great. And he also says, I love it. People need to understand when you feel a sense of security with yourself, you tend to be a little more relaxed intimately with your significant other. You tend to be open to more things. But when you begin to question your sexuality in the sense of your appearance, you begin to hold back and you want to do things in the dark. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's not just women who do things in the dark. It's men who do things in the dark as well. More often than I care to say, men do a lot of things in the dark. Okay. So when you look at your level of confidence, that's totally associated with the level of sexuality that you exude. So again, confidence in who you are is so important. So I admire her. And I think any woman who lacks the confidence should not ever wear bottomless pants. Count me as one of them. I'm not ready. I might wear them in the house though. We're going to keep it real. If my dude is into it. So when we look at this, and I'm going to share this with you full frame, the question that I have for you tonight is, which one is beautiful and screams confidence? Here she is over here to the left, Entertainer of the Year. Obviously, someone had to dress her, and she's on the cover of Time magazine. This is Lizzo at one of her concerts she's performing. So her choice, again, either one are both confident. I love the outfit on the Time magazine, but I also love what she's wearing herself. Now, would I wear an outfit that would display every single curve on my body? Probably not. Have I worn some things that's been a little risque? I have. All right. We're not going to say I'm no angel. Anybody who knows me, I love couture and love fashion. So what we're going to do is, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. And during this commercial break, you can decide whether or not, I don't know, you're 1, a 10, a 5. Bring it back and bring me some comments.
Something I could do. I could be running around chasing you, but I won't, 'cause I got better things to do.
Hey guys, welcome back. And so we're going to continue our conversation around confidence and how you rate yourself, whether or not you think you're beautiful. And a lot of times we allow social media and Hollywood to play to us what we think is beautiful. So if you're catching us the second half of the show, Lizzo had a picture of herself getting onto a plane where the whole back of her pants was open. And a lot of people had a lot of controversial conversation to say about that. But guess what? Lizzo was getting on her own jet with backless pants. And to me, that takes a lot of confidence, but it's also pretty hot. She felt like, hey, I'm doing this and what's up? So think about that from that perspective. So when we look at what's really happening out here in social media, when we see beauty, how do we see ourselves in comparison to the images we see? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Do you really see yourself the way others see you, or do you see yourself very much different? So when I think about what's happening in social media, I think about us looking at ourselves and making a decision whether or not we measure up. And that's for men and for women as well. When women, I'm going to tell you, there was a time where I saw women looking identical, everyone looking the same. There was not one person that looked different. And it's because we were copying the look that they said at that point was hot. It was really the thing that, I don't know, everyone was doing. But the thing is that do we really see beauty? When you're at home with the person that you love and you're intimate, is he sitting there saying, do you look like Beyonce right now in this moment? I don't think he's doing that. I think he's probably saying, I just want a piece of that, right? So I don't think like my guy is sitting around saying, oh, Christine, do you really look that hot right now? I don't think he is. He's probably thinking, you're hot to me. He's not comparing me to other people. So I'm going to say, folks, when you think about who you are and what you want to do with your body or your person, you really need to think about the sexual experience that you want to have. Do you want to have a guarded sexual experience, or do you want to have one that is just fulfilled with a level of intimacy that's going to blow your mind? As a friend of mine says all the time, that'll have your eyeballs in the back of your head. That's what you should be thinking about. You really shouldn't be thinking about, oh, I got a lump here, or I got too much this. Because I'm going to tell you, most guys that I know, they always say they like a girl who got back. They said, baby got back. That's what I want. So while we're in the process of having everything sucked out, lifted up, pulled away, you might want to ask the person who's checking you out to see if that's what they want, right? Because big picture, folks, a lot of us spend a lot of money on a lot of things that's related to beauty. And we're going to talk more about that because men pay a lot of money as well. So here are two images of women who I think are exceptional, by the way. It's Pam Grier and it's Oprah. Pam was hot like fire back in the day, and we all know she was. She was amazing. So let's check out Pam, and we're going to go to full frame. So everyone who's joining me live, which is the behind the scenes action, so you guys can kind of see what's happening over here. So I'm going to tell you, Pam Grier is hot. And I would take her body like right now, this minute, seriously, because she's like hot like fire. And then Oprah is always sexy, right? But when we think about big picture, and this is big picture, folks, big picture is Oprah went through her transition of what she thought was hot and what was not. And she went through that in public and everyone watched. So again, we do allow Hollywood to kind of change our minds and shift our thoughts on what's happening. But should we really be doing that? Or should we be collecting our own images about what we think is hot? Now, Taraji P. Henson, by the way, fabulous. And then we've got Eve. So I'm going to tell you, these two ladies are definitely rocking. But I'm going to tell you this also. They go through a lot to maintain their size and their looks. These two women are exceptional women. I would take nothing from them. But they will tell you they work extremely hard to be actresses because there's a certain expectation in Hollywood that has to be maintained in order for you to get jobs. So it's not as easy as you think being these people. They really put a lot of effort into it. But then you ask yourself the question, are you going to put in the same effort? Do you have the same kind of money that they have in order to continue to capture that look? I ask myself that often. I really do. And that's probably the reason why I've not gotten any modifications. So again, people, you really got to stay focused on what you think beauty is to you and not allow other people to create that image in your mind about what beauty is, because beauty is transcending. So I'm going to tell you, for men now, and I didn't know this, they have hair weave because a lot of men think being bald is not being sexy. And that shocked me that men went to that length to, I don't know, portray this look or this feeling that they were hot. So they're now getting weaves. And it's surprising, but I'm going to say this. The person who thought of it, I'm impressed with them. It takes a lot of ingenuity to figure out how to take braided hair, turn it into like waves and cut people's hair. Like that took a lot of ingenuity. Now, I'm going to tell you, when you look at these pictures, I think one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen is this young woman. Oh, Lupita's so gorgeous to me. Her skin is just it just glows with no thought. And I'm always amazed and shocked, but she is just a natural beauty. So, Cedric, and you guys have seen him on the show often. He's on Real Talk with the Men. He loves a bottom. He likes girls with some nice bottoms on them. He's really big about that. And he won't date you unless you have a nice bottom. So if you've never met Cedric and you do run into him, he's about the bottom. So these ladies right here, they might make it, they might not, but he's all about the bottom. So when you look at that again, what is your image of yourself and how do you see yourself right in that moment? So Rihanna is just hot. I don't even know what to tell you. Rihanna's hot pregnant. Rihanna's just hot, not pregnant. I don't even know what to say. But the person I'm most impressed with is Gina Torres. Gina Torres is Lawrence Fishburne's wife. And when I tell you Gina is hot like fire, I have not seen Gina in anything where she was not rock star. She is one of those people who honestly, she's very natural. She keeps her look, she gains weight, she doesn't lose weight. She's just an amazing, fabulous person. But again, there's always these differences of opinion about what beauty is. So you take this, for instance, I'm going to use the comparison. Lawrence Fishburne, in all just in the whole concept of what women think is handsome or sexy or gorgeous, right? Lawrence Fishburne has put on weight, but it hasn't stopped him from getting roles. His roles don't change. He's still getting jobs. He's still like a sergeant or a general in different movies. But if Gina put on the same amount of weight and became what I am, a plus size woman, she probably wouldn't get any job. So those are the things that I think a lot of times as Hollywood, we do allow them to mandate or track what we feel beauty is. And that's something we need to really take a look at. What do we really think beauty is, people? Because that's vitally important, how we look at ourselves. Okay. So let's look at all the different people. And this is actually one of my favorite people. I don't even know if you guys have ever seen the daughter of Lenny Kravitz. And her mom, she's like a spitting image of her mom. She's absolutely gorgeous. And I don't even tell you her mom because her mom is Lisa Bonet. It's like a given, right? This young lady is absolutely gorgeous, naturally gorgeous, looks just like her mom. But again, a lot of people go through a lot of effort to look like her. Some things are genetic and some things are not. I genetically, would I like to have, some nice cheekbones and all of that? Of course. Am I going to get implants? No, I'm not. That's not happening. What I'm saying to you is you got to love yourself where you're at. Okay. Hey, cousin Michelle, I love you too, honey. So I'm going to tell you, and thank you so much for watching. I'm going to tell you guys, it's so important that you love yourself and you do what's good for you and don't look at what other people are doing. So let's take a look at this simple elegance, right? When you look at simple elegance, and when I say elegance, I'm talking about just simple, sexy, timeless, alluring elegance. I'm going to share with you guys, and a lot of people have different things that they're looking at. And it shocks and amazes me what people think. So right now, Cedric's saying she should not be the example. Who shouldn't be the example? Zori Kravitz should not be the example, or I shouldn't be the example because I think I'm an amazing example. You'll let me know in a minute, Cedric. But I'm going to tell you, a person that I have such a girl crush on is Angela Bassett. I think Angela Bassett, from the time she started up to this point, has really carried herself at a level that's just been unbelievable. And she has not allowed people to craft her into something else. She's always maintained who she was throughout her career. And I really respect her for that. So I'm going to tell you, she's like in my top number one, because I think she's just timeless. Truly, she's timeless. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you guys at full frame so you can see the timelessness. And all you guys watching me live, I'm going to turn around so you can see it. She is timeless. This woman is just absolutely timeless and just an individually gorgeous person effortlessly. And she works out. She's over 50, and this woman looks amazing. When she did the role of Tina Turner, she busted her butt to show homage to Tina Turner. And she said she had never worked out so hard. So she wanted to make sure it was as realistic as possible. She said Lisa's daughter, a dodo bird. She may be a dodo bird, but Zoe is hot. And she's been in a lot of major movies. She's a tremendous actress. So you got to give her credit for that. She is a tremendous actress to her craft, and she does put a little time in. And she earned her chops. She didn't go in and just say, this is who I am. But I'm going to tell you, Angela Bassett gets a lot of credit for me because even now in the roles that she plays, whether it's film or it's on TV, Angela is always timeless and just action, just elegance. So again, I don't foresee, and I'll share this with you guys who are watching me on live. I really don't see Angela Bassett putting on some backless pants. And again, I'm not saying Lizzo should not have done that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it depends on your confidence in who you are. And we need to respect that everyone's not going to be cookie cutter of what everyone else is doing. And we need to respect that people really love themselves. When you don't love yourself, of course, you may not see what other people see or see the images that you feel that exemplify beauty to you. And that's okay. It doesn't make it wrong. It just makes it different. So when we get back, we're going to go back into our first question for tonight. And again, I would love for you guys to leave comments and let me know what you're thinking and feeling about tonight's show and yourself. How do you rate yourself when you think about who you really are? Show. So, hey guys, welcome back to 5F's to Love Real Talk with the ladies. The ladies are enjoying Easter break right now, so you just have me, Christine, tonight. Okay, so our conversation tonight, guys, is really focused on what our confidence and who we are. So, let's talk about this because this is kind of serious. Right now, we're all making a transition from COVID, right? And we're all thinking, oh, I need to lose weight. I need to do this. Some people are rushing out and getting all types of surgery just to make sure that they're ready or prepared. Listen, the same amount of time it took you to just eat and kick back and not work out is the same amount of time it's probably going to take you to go ahead and just lose the weight naturally. Just look at it from that perspective. And to be honest with you, before you start doing that, you might find out that the person who's interested in you likes you the way you are. I found that out. He didn't have any issues. So therefore, i.e., I'm working out, but I'm working out for me. So that's the difference. All right. So when you stand in front of the mirror naked, how do you feel? Do you rate yourself? And that's for men and women. Now, I know men when you look at yourself because a lot of my friends are guys and we talk about this. You guys rate yourself, and sometimes, I don't know. I don't know if you're being real or not. Because I'm going to be honest with you, women, we don't like big stomachs. We don't. We go with it if you're a nice guy, we go with it. We don't really like it. Just like, I don't know. I don't know what you guys don't like. But what did somebody tell me? It's like you see a booty coming and going when a woman has a big stomach and a big butt. I forgot what that's called. One of my male friends told me what that was. And so Cedric says, I'm saying it. Lizzo should have never wore that shit. Can't unsee that shit. Okay. For you guys who don't know this, Cedric likes a woman with a big ass, but he doesn't like heavy set women. That's what his comment is about, Cedric. And the thing is, you can't unsee it. But I think Lizzo is gorgeous and attractive because she's comfortable with who she is. When I think about myself, and often every day, I say to myself, am I good where I'm at in this space? And you've got to be good where you are in your own space. So Cedric, Lizzo's good where she is in her space, and that's why she did what she wanted to do. So let me tell you guys, rate yourself. I would love for you to rate yourself and post it. I would love to see videos about the people who are comfortable in their own skin. You know, is it the same view or perspective you would have if you were standing nude in front of someone else? That's a question you have to ask yourself. He says, in the mirror, the only thing that matters is how the fuck it's happening, how the fuck is hanging. Okay, so like I said, men see themselves differently. So guys gauge themselves on the size of their penis. I'm going to tell you right now, women do, but we also want something visually tantalizing to us. I'm a person, I'm very much attracted to people who are physically fit. That's just my thing. And lucky for me, they're attracted to me. So we don't have any issues in that area. But what I'm saying to you is that you need to look at, and if you are a guy who's not physically fit, it's there's a woman and a person and a man out there for everyone. That's number one. And people watching me live. There's someone out there for everybody. So they're definitely going to tune in to you and want to be with you because they're attracted to you. That's number one. So that's not a bad look to have at all, by no means. But what I'm saying to you is that if you feel that you could do something to improve your look, then you should. And that's what this is about. It's about you really taking a closer look at yourself and whether or not you're prepared to be the real you in front of everyone. So the naked truth is, and this is real talk, if you had to, and we've watched plenty of those movies, all of us have, where you're at the bank is being robbed, and they tell everybody to strip down. One, everybody should wear good underwear. You've already seen that scene in the movies. Please wear your good underwear, honey. Because if you got to strip down and you don't have good underwear, it might be an issue. So the other thing is, are you going to be prepared to be nude in front of other people? That's the question you should ask yourself. If you really care about what other people think, and this does or happens at any point in time, if you had to strip down in front of anyone, would you be okay with it? Would you be okay with yourself? I'm going to tell you right now, my underwear is going to be real cute. I don't know about the whole body image. I don't know if people are going to agree with my body image, but my underwear is going to match because my mother always said you have to have good underwear. That's the truth. My underwear is going to match. So that's one of the things that you want to think about, and not that other stuff, right? I don't think you should ever get caught up on what other people think or believe. And that's the truth. All right. So our next question is your confidence impacted by the opinion of someone else's view of your physical appearance? Well, thank God Lizzo can't hear anything that Cedric is saying. He said, y'all can say all day on his chest is nice arms, but if that dick ain't jumping out, they ain't no happy. You know, I can't stand Cedric, that's valid. That's definitely some validness in that. But I will say this to you. For some people, a physical appearance outweighs the size of a man's penis. It does. I'm not saying that's me. I can't say that. I've never been in that situation. I don't know. God just smiles on me when he places people in my life. So I'm grateful for that. I haven't had that issue. But I will say this. They've come with chest and penises. Nice ones. So I can only tell you that, again, God smiles on me. But when they don't, I don't think that you should walk away from that. That's what I'm saying. I think that a lot of times, and it's just a real conversation about relationships. Again, are we making a decision? Because someone asked me this the other day, and this is a real conversation. They said all of these Black women who are upset about Black men dating white women, if they knew for sure that that Black man had a small penis, would they still be with them? Because conceptually, have we planted in our head that one outweighs the other? A man's success, you're going to be with him regardless of the size of his penis? Or are you just going to be with him? Have we determined that being with a woman, regardless of her success, is based on her size? Have we determined that? That's the thing. So you got to do real talk with yourself and make a decision on what's important to you. I'm going to be totally honest with you. It's so unfortunate because if you look at every one of those guys who are with women who are not minorities, you have to ask yourself a question. If you found out, as to what Cedric said, he didn't have the size that you were looking for, would you still want to be with him? Would you still say, this is the guy that I'm going to marry and spend the rest of my life with? I mean, those are the things you need to think about. And Anissa, thank you so much for joining us. She said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. If everyone liked the same physical traits and only a few people would find them mates. And that's so true. Only a few people will be able to find mates. Again, you've got to look at what's important to you. A man having hair on his head is not important to me. So a guy going through all that effort to go get, implants or to get a weave wouldn't be important to me. I'd rather have someone who's intellectually sound. That's the first priority. And a person who's physically healthy. And I'm not going to say he has to be physically built out, as Cedric said, watching me live. But it's important to me that you do look attractive to me. I'm a visual person and I'm very turned on by someone who takes care of their body. So that is important to me. But again, my confidence is not related to what another person thinks or feels about me. That's not going to happen. My confidence is based on what I think about myself. When I think that my behind has gotten too big for my skirts or anything, then that concerns me. Not because someone said it. It's never about that. It's never about someone saying, oh, I'm not really feeling you. There was a guy who did say something to me like that, and I had to walk away from that because you're not the person for me. And so when you think about it, you have to say to yourself, are you considering changing your physical appearance in the near future just to meet up to someone else's expectations? Are you? Is this what you're doing? So when you look at who you are and what you want to be, and see you guys later on live, I can't do both at the same time. So thank you. Thank you for viewing. When you look at who you are and what you want to be, I want you to think about, where do I fit in that moment? When the lights go out and it's just you and that person, where are you at? Are you caught up on what social media is saying or doing? Are you caught up on what that person is saying and doing to you? See, confidence to me comes from knowing who you are and accepting yourself for where you are, loving yourself no matter what. And that means every situation is not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. So when you watch social media and all the things that's out there and they keep portraying this is what perfection is, you're constantly going after perfection. I know women who've gotten surgeries after surgeries after surgeries to do what? To get as close as they could to a Barbie doll. Do you know what they created Barbie from? No human woman could be shaped like Barbie. But now Barbie comes in several different sizes, several different colors. Now she really fits what we think beauty is. I have several Barbies that have bottoms. By the way, people don't know this. I have a large African-American Barbie collection. This is why I know this. But they all come in different sizes. So you have to understand we all come in different sizes. So therefore, your confidence should be where you're at. I have a really good friend who I think is just an absolutely gorgeous person. But she consistently looks for opportunities to do a little nip, a little tuck, a little, Botox, a little bit of this. I don't think it makes her look any different. Honestly, I really don't. I think she's just an absolutely beautiful person. So if you had to make love to somebody right now in this moment, would you turn off the lights? Would you light candles? What would you do? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And while you're asking yourself that question during these commercial breaks, I want you to think about whether or not you should be turning off the lights or lighting those candles.
You a bad bitch, or you a bad bitch, or you a bad bitch, is you a savage? Well, whether you are a bad bitch or a savage or whatever you want to call yourself, I am here to talk to you today about a book called Bad Bitches and Perfect Pitches that is authored by Precious Williams. One of the biggest differences between you and your competition in any facet of your life is the fact that they know how to effectively communicate and you don't. See, in this world, you don't have to be the smartest, you don't have to be the prettiest, you don't have to have the most money, but you do have to be able to sell yourself. Now, Precious Williams comes from the inner city of St. Louis, and she, in her book, has shown you how to elevate your life by using the gift of gab. Now, Precious Williams' book has been featured on Forbes, CNN, LinkedIn, Black Enterprise, and more. It can be found at www.perfectpitches by Precious. Now go ahead and buy today so you can be on your way to being a bad bitch with the perfect pitch.
Que me falte tu piel, ¿qué será? ¿Qué será de mí? No seas parte de mi amanecer, ¿qué será?
Hey guys, welcome back. to the Five Halves to Love Real Talk with the ladies. The reason why the ladies are not here because it is a holiday, it's Easter weekend. And so I'm having an intimate conversation with you guys about confidence in yourself, in the naked truth. I think women are more critical. We are more critical of ourselves than men are. And the reason is that we feel like we have to bait and attract men. And therefore, we work really hard to do that. And I think a lot of times we need to ask our audience, what is it that they're looking for or they want before we run out to do all of these things, right? So I'm going to say to you tonight has been, for me, a conversation that I've had ongoing, not with you guys, but ongoing since January with men and with women about whether or not we're ready to be in relationships and to share with someone, I guess, the most intimate parts of our body. And when you look at yourself every day, how do you rate yourself? What do you feel about yourself? What do you think? Are you comfortable with where you are in the space that you're in? I know that I'm pretty comfortable. I know I got some things I need to work on, but I'm not opposed to me. And that's the thing. I'm not repulsed or opposed to being me. So those are the things you want to look at. So let's look at when you leave your home. Do you feel a need, I don't know, to be anything else other than what you are? Do you feel a need to change or modify your look at any point? Do you second guess yourself? Do you think, oh, I'm not going out because I don't feel good about myself? Folks, let me tell you something. Across America, so many people have walked out of relationships. So many people have done harm to themselves because they really think other people are paying that much attention to them and about what they look like. And they're judging themselves based on what Hollywood says is beauty or social media. Again, if you're joining me for the second half, Lizzo got on her personal jet with a pair of backless pants. And so many people were repulsed by it. They were like, what is she doing? You know, and they were like, would you feel this way if she was Beyonce? The bottom line is, folks, whether it's Beyonce or Lizzo, there's a certain level of respect that you have to have when a person steps out with that much confidence in themselves. You just have to respect that. I didn't say you have to like it. I didn't say you have to admire it, love it, or want it. You just got to respect it and understand if you're not at that level, it doesn't mean that you should go after another person because you have no idea what your words are going to mean to them. And I can only use myself as an example. I was teased literally almost every day as a kid. And they used to call me an ugly duckling all the time. They used to tease me about my lips all the time. And I had no idea that I was an actual beautiful person, a woman, until college. I had no idea that I was pretty. So I'm going to say, if I listened to those people and led into that, you wouldn't be seeing me now. I had to walk away from all of that. And I had to believe in myself when no one else did. So what I'm saying to you is you cannot allow other people to determine or dictate what's beautiful. And Anissa, thank you so much for joining us. She said the goal is not to feel the need to hide behind darkness when having intimacy with someone. If he or she expresses an appreciation for your body, mind, and soul, you will feel sexy, comfortable showing yourself. I 100% agree with that. 100%. Because I'm going to tell you, there's been some times I haven't felt I'm being honest with you guys. It's a vulnerable moment. And I don't really have those, by the way. But I'm going to tell you, there were some times I really wasn't feeling so hot, right? But the person I was with thought I was just like the best thing since iced tea. So what I'm going to say to you guys is this. From that moment, when I realized that I was a beautiful person and everything everyone said about me being an ugly duckling and, oh my God, your lips, you got soup lips and all this kind of stuff. When I realized how hot I was able to live in that moment and embrace it. Now I walk out the door with confidence, regardless whether I have a baseball cap on or whether I'm working in my yard or whether or not anyone who knows me knows that I love my custom couture looks. It doesn't make a difference. I think I'm still like hot like fire because I really believe in myself and the person I'm presenting, right? I'm not saying I can't go for a couple pounds off of me. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying I believe in myself. Michael, thank you so much for watching. He says, I believe that beauty is in the eye of the beholder and that the beholder isn't the other person. It's you who is the beholder. I love that saying. You know what? That is so rock star. But I'm going to tell you, I am motivated by somebody else thinking I'm hot like fire, especially if I'm naked. That kind of seals the deal for me. It tells me, all right, you're not that bad if all of this activity is happening. But you're right. You shouldn't determine your beauty or your confidence based on somebody else. But it doesn't hurt when somebody else thinks you're hot like fire. I'm going to say that again. I kind of like it when my guy is like, you know, I'd say it like that. I like it. Okay. He puts in M. Belcher Jr. I don't even know what that means, but maybe he's doing his own promo for his own body. I don't get what's happening, but I'm going to say this to you guys before we go tonight. Take a few minutes, if not for yourself, just for me. Look at yourself naked in the mirror. And if you don't like what you see, then you work on it. Don't work on it for anybody else. Work on it because you want to. And I'm going to say to you right now, there's somebody out there for everyone. There's not one person out here there's not someone out there for. And this is the thing. Ladies, you have to remove that idea, that concept that you can only find love in your own culture, especially as African-American women. Do you know how many other cultures think that we're absolutely gorgeous and we don't even try because we're looking for this tall, dark, handsome guy? Well, guess what? If tall, dark, handsome is not into you, your prototype, because everybody's a prototype, then take it to market, honey. Somebody else is going to want that prototype, okay? Somebody else is going to love you and adore you for who you are, where you are, okay? Short hair, long hair, crooked teeth, no teeth. I've seen it all. That's all I can say. And when I tell you, I've seen the most loving, caring, supportive couples, and you look and you say, wow, they found love. So they could find it, Dagnabbits, I could find it, you could find it. But first you got to love yourself, and you got to love yourself where you are. And I hope you guys understand when you do find them, I want you to use my compatibility app to see whether or not, I don't know, you guys are a good match for one another. And it's not just a whole physical thing. You don't ever want to get caught up on physical. If you watched last week's show, Reverend Galen said that's the problem that we're having, that a lot of people are looking at the physical and not getting to know the person. So I want to thank you for joining me tonight and spending this time with me. And again, I would love to get your comments and hear what you feel about yourself and the areas and things you need to work on, because you guys have no idea. They watch the show all over the world. They listen to the show all over the world. And the comments that I get of how encouraging it is very impressive. So you never know what your words and the things that you share are going to impact someone else's life. So the only thing I can say is if there's another ugly duckling out there that people keeps proclaiming that you're not the most attractive person, watch out, because I was once an ugly duckling as well. And I think I'm pretty hot. So I'm not going to worry about what anybody thinks about me or feels about me. I just think as long as I rock to me, then I'm good. So I'm going to say thanks, guys, for watching. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week, where it's Real Talk with Rodney and Mike, and they're taking you on location. And I think you're going to love it. All right. See you guys next week. And thanks again for watching us here at the 5 F's to Love, Real Talk with the Ladies.
My name is Christine Burkett, the inventor of the 5 F's to Love. This is a compatibility app. It's an app that gives you an opportunity to rate words that start with the letter F in chronological order of importance to you, to help you find your one true love, your soulmate, and the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So after you've taken the time to rate your F's in chronological order, you send a link to the person, you just met, or the person you've been dating for quite some time. Or maybe it's the person you've been married to for 30 to 40 to 50 years. And then you compare your top 5 F's to find out what things you have in common and things that you may perhaps need to work on. This is taking a simplistic perspective on how to find your one true love, your soulmate.